Okay, so today we're reacting to some face tattoo job stopper stuff here. So there's quite a bit to get to. I've been saving these for a bit, so
Okay.
yeah.
So, this one says, "Hey buddy, this is a pic of my nose tattoo that I got the other week.
Same thing.
Did not feel like I expected it to. Got more tender the further down it went. So I expected getting the tip tattooed would suck balls. Yeah, even if you get like a zit there, that hurts. Anyways, one thing I noticed since getting it is that not many people have nose tattoos. Anyways, keep up the good work on the channel."
In the body mod, like, sub-community, whatever you want to call it, what you do typically with your nose is pierce it, right? So, like, it's actually more common to have, well, maybe not. Maybe it's about as common to have a big stretch septum as it is to have a nose tattoo. The issue is there's not a lot that you do with your nose, you know, for a tattoo. Like, just to have, like, a tattoo on your nose.
Yeah, I've seen like that, like, kind of
You'd need a full face tattoo.
black metal logo looking thing.
Yeah, but, like, it's just so front and center.
Yeah.
That it takes emphasis away from...
And you know, actually, I would argue that this person is wrong in saying that nose tattoos aren't that common. It's just very noticeable nose tattoos aren't very common. Do you know how many people are getting freckles?
Oh, that's different, though. That doesn't... those things are... That's like eyelash tattoos compared to... You know what I mean? Like, no, it is different because people see it different.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, this is seen different than that. Like... And people don't think of it as a body mod. It is a body mod, but, like, people don't see it that way. It's same as getting breast implants and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people don't think of these things as... They don't go, freak, when they see someone with huge knockers that aren't humanly possible. They don't yell those things at people who are doing things that make them look better, in someone's opinion, right? They only do that when you're doing things that they don't like. And this is more polarizing than
for sure.
getting some fucking freckles on your nose. I don't care. You want to get freckles? Go get your fucking freckles. But it's not the same thing as this because it's not looked at by normal people as a body mod for some reason.
Right.
Because their brains don't work properly or something.
So what do we think of the nose tattoo?
I think the nose tattoo is probably the best face tattoo that they have, to be honest with you. I like how they went about lining it up. I think that's pretty smart. I think it's good that they included the way that they laid it out there because it would be very easy for this to go wrong.
And be crooked.
It's kind of like how you lay out a piercing, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think, like, it's funny when you see this. Like, I'm assuming this person was born in 1985, which puts them close to 40. But when you have face tattoos, it kind of changes, like, the way you look. Like, you don't look your age as easily. And that doesn't mean you look older or younger. It just seems like you get into this, like, ageless thing. Like, nobody has any idea how old I am. Nobody ever has any idea. Like, it's a stone's throw from 500 to 20.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no guessing.
Wow.
Because, like, people understand that I've had all this, like, work done. And so I have to be a certain age, but then they're like, he doesn't look that old, so it just throws everything off.
Right.
I think it's funny, like, people are always like, well, how are you going to look when you get older with all those tattoos? It's
You're like,
probably,
I already am older.
Probably younger than you do, because they do this thing where it almost fucks with your brain on age.
I'm much the same. I had a coworker once kind of saying like I was gonna look old because of the tattoos.
That's just stupid.
and they were 10 years younger than me, and I told them that when they're my age, they're gonna look like an old sock, and I guarantee it.
Yeah, everyone looks bad when they get old.
Yep.
Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here, and some of it's better than others. Like, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty with this. It's never comfortable talking shit about someone's face.
Yep.
There are obviously some things that I feel like can be better. But I also don't think that what's here can't be improved on either. Like the little mandala forehead thing. I feel like all they need to do to make that situation better is to kind of build it out.
Yeah,
You
bring
know
it
what I
up
mean?
and out a bit.
And like obviously it's all like a lot of it is old, so it's going to be that kind of gray look to it. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's to each their own, right? But I think it's a very busy look. But I think the nose is the best of it. And
Yep.
I'm not surprised that the nose is the most painful part of the face, because when I was doing my piercing, it was like this whole region is super sensitive. And the hardest, actually, interestingly enough, there are some nerves in your upper lip that have more feeling in your nose than your nose.
Yep. That well, when you get your septum pierced, there's like
Well,
a whole
yeah.
zone there that hurts that it doesn't make sense.
You want to stretch your philtrum.
I don't even wanna.
Yeah, that's
That would be spicy.
tense. It's tense. It doesn't take well. It doesn't like to stretch, and it hurts in your nose.
Ugh.
So, and my philtrum was twice the size that it is now at its biggest. So it's been shrunk quite a bit. But whenever it would stretch, like this whole region was sore. So it's interesting how the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone, as we say.
Yes.
So
All right. So the next one says, "Hey Remy, JRB here sent you a few things in the past. Here's my latest tattoo on my face. Love the new ink."
I always wonder what new ink they're speaking of, because there's always new ink on me. It's hard to even say.
Right.
I mean, like, honest to God, these are so small, they're almost not there. It's like when you did the moon on the side of your face.
Yeah, it took my mom 6 months to notice.
Yeah, like you grow your hair in and it's like whatever. But I mean, the moon looks like it's lined decently anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on in his wrist there is not good. But this isn't about that.
Right.
What is the thing under his hair there?
I don't know. It looks like some sort of mandala or like
No.
a gem or some circles.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like Mickey Mouse to me, but that's just...
Yeah, I mean, it's a face tattoo, kind of.
Yeah.
I always feel like Sideburn ones are kind of face tattoos, but they're kind of not.
I wouldn't really call it a face tattoo. No one ever notices that
To
it's
me, when
tattooed.
you get a face tattoo, it's not really like the same thing unless it's like forefront.
Yeah.
Like when I did the stars here, it was like, oh, okay, well
I
that's
think
that's a face tattoo.
The bigger Sideburn ones, but these little moons, they're just like, they're nothing.
But I want to be careful with that, because there are people like deep into this community that, or not so deep even, that think all the time, when are you going to get your face tattooed, Remy? Like, they don't think I have face tattoos, so I guess it depends on who you ask.
Right.
Because for some people, it's not a face tattoo till it's your entire face.
Right.
So I guess that's, it just depends on who you ask on that one.
It's fair, I
But
guess.
the moon is decent. It's, I think, very unoffensive.
Yeah.
So,
I'd fill it in.
yeah, I think filled in will look cooler.
Yeah. Let's see. Next one says, "Hey, Jason here. I'm 53, getting drilled since 15." That's a new one. Getting drilled.
No, I've heard that.
Have a pet boa tribute to her.
You must really like your boa to get a face tattoo tribute. Like, I'm going to get a tattoo of my dog, but it's not going to be on my face, you know what I mean? Can you
Yeah.
imagine if I got Mozart face tattoo?
I mean, you could get his
Like,
name.
no, like I'm talking like get the snout in there, everything,
No.
you know? Like his little beard, all of it.
Little
Just
mohawk.
turn my face into his face.
No.
To really get the fur texture in there.
I love Momo, but not that much.
I'm kind of all over with this one, because like I like the scales actually quite a bit. They're decent.
Yeah,
But
they're not
I
bad
don't
scales.
like the rest of what's happening. I like the eyes kind of, but like there's just so much happening.
Right?
Like I think the idea should be to maybe blast over some of the old stuff with the scales. They'll cover that, and then just make your head like this kind of snake scale thing. You know what I mean?
Snake scale balaclava.
It's also got the same problem that my ears had, but I had a really good excuse or reason. Really, it was a reason to not tattoo my ears for so long, because like I had so much tissue that's like warped, that's hard to work around, and I had to have the right idea. when you don't have any piercings or anything to work in your ears, I feel like it's like, not to be rude, but it's almost no effort to do this. Like, and they really stand out, especially if you get tattooed for 38 years. Just tattoo your ears.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just fucking get rid of those, because now they're framed in real good. And it
You don't
puts a
even have to
highlight
do
on
the
them.
full ear. Like, you can just like
Even just skirt around them.
bits and pieces on the ears enough to make them.
I would do snake ears. How about that? Some snake skin ears.
Just get them taken off.
I also think that the frame of the snake would be more flattering if it came up onto the start of his jaw here and kind of went down around the beard.
Yeah,
line.
a little closer up.
'Cause,
You
like, he has such a straight, like, cut down. It
Yeah.
kind of changes his face.
and it can, and you are a really good example. You've moved your.
I've had like 5 different fucking face shapes.
You've moved your jawline tattoo so many times.
But it's always in respect of the curvature of my face.
Right.
Like, it always is riding that line. Even if I ever did it again, which there's no plans, like, I think it would be like done in a way that would still work with the shape of my face. Like, I still have, I have a theory of how I could possibly do more, but like, there's no chance, because everything that's so interwoven now, it's so layered, it's just like,
No more.
no.
This
There's-
is always
there's
the
no
beginning
more.
of this.
No,
this.
no.
Every time you're like, I have an idea.
No,
and then like a
I
month
know
down the
what-
road, you're like,
I know what it would look like
idea.
if I was to do that, and like, there is a way to still play with my face shape, but like, it's a no for me. Like, I'm happy with this, and I even just did the red again.
yeah,
on
and the
here,
red
right?
is nice.
So it's like, I'm pretty committed to the shape of mine.
But you
like,
can
there's-
change the shape of yours.
There's always ways to augment your face shape that
Mm-hmm.
have kind of a play with what you have. So I think that this is doing him a bit of a disservice. It kind of looks like he's cut out of a shell right now
Right.
from this vantage point. But it's not horrible.
No.
I quite like the idea. I just think that you should make that the whole head and some of the neck, at least.
Right. Yeah, bring some random scales here and there. This one says, "Hey, hi Remy. I just got this Blackwork a couple days ago, and I wanted to share it with you. See what you think. That would be awesome. I'm actually trying to work on tattooing 90% of my body."
I got to tell you, I've done enough of these where people, they respect the honesty usually, or they don't. But I go hard enough on things that it's like, are you sure you want to know what I think? I've been pretty clear.
It says, "I have a killer Hellraiser sleeve that I can send you pictures of. Anyways, hope to hear from you."
I mean, I don't like this.
I think this, so we were just talking about like face framing, and like we're not getting a really good frontal picture of this, but I think this is an example of bad face framing.
I think it's very easy for me to like this, but it's going to take some work. I think what has to happen, I mean, I don't recommend doing it now if you don't have much else on your body done yet. He said that he's working on getting 90% of his body tattooed. I don't know why such a specific number, but I think the play here is to turn this black scratch stuff into almost your entire head now, and it certainly has to cover the bats and that
Typo
pink
negative
blob thing.
symbol.
No, I mean that pink blob thing up there.
Oh yeah, whatever that is.
It can cover the typo negative. Like, I think if you're planning on having like mostly full coverage, I think it's time to deal with some of what's happened already before moving on much farther. So, because like you're gonna have all these wacky things all over the place that aren't really connected, and that will most likely drive you crazy. Especially, he just stabbed into something that's usually done on a larger scale with this. I do like the unique ear piercing he has up there. It's kind of like a different take on like a industrial, like an orbital type thing. But non-conventional piercing ring there, so that might be bent specifically for this picture or purpose. Anyway, I think it's probably better off to just embrace the style that you just did with this and use it to cover up a lot of this old stuff before you make much more mess.
Or like kind of blast over some of it. Not necessarily. You don't have to cover, but like
the problem is
incorporate it
we're
in.
now doing things like we would do on our legs, on our faces. Mm-hmm. Like this looks like, this is gonna sound harsh, but it looks like a junk board, right? Like, and
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
your
trying to
little-
be rude.
Little Pinterest board.
And it's just like, you shouldn't take your face and do that. Like people will be like, oh, you're one to talk, Remy. Yes, I am one to talk because I've done my face in a very purposeful, direct way. No matter at any point, it's always been with a lot of thought and it's been planned out, right? And so because of that, everything is symmetrical and in balance. And it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. That's true. That's the reality. This is not that. This is, I want this today. I'm sticking this here. It's just like this random brain fart thing happens, and then we have a mess on our face.
Right.
That's what your legs are supposed to be for. Legs are for walk-in tattoos and fucking around, you know? Unless you're going to a really, really awesome artist that does great walk-in tattoos all the time, and it's like, okay, well, that's kind of a thing. Maybe you get one on your arm or something, you know? But like, I wouldn't be doing this haphazard chaos on my face, especially because like it changes the way people look at you all over the place, whether you like it or not. That's just a fact. Now, it doesn't really concern me, but my life has been constructed in a way that it doesn't make a fucking difference, right? I can walk around with underwear on my fucking head tomorrow, and what's the world gonna do about it?
Right.
Remy's set. So it means that the troll that's watching this video that doesn't like me, his opinion quite literally does not matter, right? It has no bearing on my reality. But it might have bearing on your reality if you're not set. If you don't have a beautiful wife, a son, a house that you own, and manage several companies and social media properties, then maybe it matters to you, right? So I feel like it's worth noting that you should probably stop doing this to yourself before it's too late. And because the cover-up of a face tattoo, as I always say, is still a face tattoo,
Right.
right? Like you're in treacherous terrain, and maybe this guy's set, right? And we both know that the world has changed and that it's easier to get away with this stuff. But it's not just about professional, it's also about personal,
Right.
right? And like it's gonna dog you no matter where you go in life. So
I agree.
yeah, I do like the black scratch though. I think it's pretty cool, and for what it's worth, I think the moon on the other side of his face is a better try than the bats and the other thing up there. It's a little blurry. It should be maybe relined.
I think
but-
it's the moon, the Leviathan one. Like, you know,
Yeah, but like before
might
that,
be. It could not.
because
be,
like
but-
people are always like, "Oh, it's a currents tattoo." I don't even know what currents is. It's a fucking moon with teardrops or something, man.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking moon. This moon has been around forever.
Yeah.
Seen this moon design for 1,000,000 years. You know, people just associate things with whatever they like, and fair enough. But like, it's a moon. You know what I mean? It's a trippy moon. So, I think the black scratch is the play. I think I would just do more of this. And the nice thing about it is it's big and dark enough that it makes a great cover up, and you can still get something of a cohesive look out of this before it's too late.
Agreed.